Hello, Windows Analysis. We explore the Windows universe, performance, hidden settings, history, hacks, and updates. If you like understanding your system, stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are diving deep into a mystery that's got the whole Windows community buzzing. What is going on with the Windows 11 update schedule? I mean, it really feels like Microsoft just threw their own rulebook out the window. So the big question is, can we still count on that predictable annual update calendar? Or has the whole game changed without anyone bothering to tell us? So to really get a grip on the chaos we're seeing now, we've got to take a step back. Let's rewind a bit to let's call it the good old days of Windows updates, where, believe it or not, things actually ran like clockwork. It wasn't even that long ago. See, for a while there, Microsoft had us all in this really comfortable, predictable groove. One big update every single year, always in the fall. And they even had this super simple naming system for it, YYH2. Now, I know that sounds like some nerdy code, but it's actually dead simple. YY was just the year, and H2 meant the second half of the year. So, 23H2 was the big update for fall 2023. Easy, right? Logical. Everyone got it. And this pattern, well, you could set your watch by it. Seriously. We got 21H2 in 2021, then 22H2 in 2022, and bam, 23H2 in 2023. One major update every fall. The whole thing was just crystal clear. From regular folks like us to huge corporations, everybody knew what to expect and when. But then, everything changed. Suddenly, that beautiful, predictable rhythm just broke. And this, my friends, is where our little mystery story starts to get really interesting. And the clue didn't come from some big, flashy announcement. Nope. It was hidden in plain sight, buried inside a tiny routine patch, one of those updates you probably didn't even notice installing. We're talking about update KB5036791, which was supposed to be just a simple bug fix. The perfect hiding spot, right? But somebody always notices, don't they? A couple of super sharp-eyed developers were digging around in the code, and they found it. This one single line of text supported Windows 11-02 H1 only. And that set off alarm bells all over the community. 26 H1? Hold on a second. If the big updates are always H2 for the second half of the year, what in the world is an H1 doing there? This was the million-dollar question. So just like that, this one little reference to an H1 version completely shattered the model we all understood. Was it a typo, a secret project, a whole new strategy? Well, it turns out the answer isn't that Microsoft is trying to drive us all insane. The real reason has everything to do with some brand new hardware. And here's the twist. The key to this whole 26H1 mystery isn't about an update for you and me, not for most of us anyway. It's for a very specific type of hardware. The new generation of ARM processors. See, Microsoft is working with Qualcomm to launch these incredible new PCs powered by their super powerful Snapdragon X Elite chips. Now, here's the problem they ran into. These new ARM chips, they're built differently. They need the very core of the operating system, what tech folks call the Windows kernel, to be specially tweaked just for them. But the new laptops were set to launch before the big fall update 26H2, so Microsoft was in a tight spot. They basically had no choice but to cook up a special, in-between version just to get these new machines out the door. So let's be super clear about this, because it's the most important part. Version 26H1 is not for everybody. You are not going to see this pop up on your Intel or AMD machine. It is an exclusive, super specific release just for this first wave of ARM-powered PCs. Think of it like a special pre-patch, just to make sure those shiny new machines work perfectly right out of the box. All right, so the technical reason makes sense, right? But let's be real. The way this all came out, not through an announcement, but through some detective work, it's created a whole lot of confusion and honestly frustration in the community. Let's talk about why people are so wound up about this. Yeah, this first comment just nails it. A lot of people feel like Microsoft is already talking about the next big thing before most of us have even gotten the current one. And then a secret, hardware-specific update like 26H1 just makes that feeling of, digital whiplash even worse. And then there's the trust issue. I mean, how many times have you heard someone complain that new Windows versions feel buggy or unfinished? This new, fragmented approach doesn't help. It makes you wonder, right? If they're making all these specialized builds, are they all getting tested properly? It definitely makes you a little nervous to click that update button. And you can't talk about Windows these days without talking about AI. This next comment really gets to the heart of it. There's this growing feeling that Microsoft is so obsessed with jamming Copilot and AI into everything that they're forgetting to, just polish the basic stuff that we use every single day. But look, this confusion isn't just a fun topic for tech channels. It creates real-world problems. It causes a ton of anxiety around something that's actually super critical: end of support dates. When the schedule is all over the place, it makes people genuinely worried about security. You start asking yourself, wait, how long is my version of Windows actually safe to use? And when you pull up the official end of support chart, yeah, the timeline can look a little scary. Okay, and you really need to pay attention to this. If you're running version 22H2 on a home or pro machine, it loses all support in October 2024. That's right around the corner. And what that does is it forces everyone, home users, giant companies, to update, whether they feel the new version is ready or not. You can imagine what a nightmare that is for IT departments who just want things to be stable. So, after digging through all of that, what's the big picture here? What does this all mean for the future? Is this the new normal for Windows? Well, the main takeaway seems pretty clear. We're moving away from that simple one-size-fits-all model. The old way was easy: one big update a year for everyone. The new way, it seems to be one main update for most of us, and then these special little side versions that branch off for new, specific hardware. And that leaves us with this massive, looming question for the future. Is Windows giving up on being a truly universal operating system? Is it slowly becoming this ecosystem of different specialized versions, each one tied to a specific piece of hardware? It's a huge shift in philosophy, and you can bet we'll be watching it very, very closely. And that's it for today's analysis. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a like and a comment, enjoy tinkering, and see you in the next Windows analysis video.